Hi. What is the very most important thing that anybody can do? Is to come to one's senses, to be aware, to rise in one's receptivity, in one's sensitivity to what's going on. We do that in the morning when we wake up. We do that when something excites us or inspires us with our sensitivities to propel our senses. This is what meditation and mindfulness is about. This is why you're here. This is why following this pursuit is that you want to be more aware of what's going on. And by being more aware of what's going on, being able to contribute to the direction that you are pursuing, your goals, your very important aspirations, that which makes you unique. That's what makes us each so special, is our uniqueness. To consider the biological history of Homo sapiens, of the rich tradition of 1 billion years of life evolution, on top of the evolution of our universe 13 billion years preceding this. It's quite a lot to fathom. And it is a subject most worthy of one's attention because it helps inspire a sense of awe, a sense of humility, and quite possibly a sense of appreciation that we are endowed and aware of our good fortunes. Having found a comfortable posture, undisturbed, taking a few moments to explore some of the results of man's ascension through time, some of our scientific technological innovations, explanations of the history of creation. It's amazing. There's a lot. To more readily, more easily, to bring these kinds of thoughts to one's attention, to one's surface, to the superficialities of our consciousness, is created by practicing, by habitualizing practices that we do from day to day. For instance, we brush our teeth in the mornings, we brush our teeth in the evenings. This is a practice that we have developed over time. We drink water through the day, knowing that we are more than 60 or 70% fashioned of water, so we know it is healthy for us. These are habits that we have. And we learn them over a lifetime, trial and error, trial and success, from societal, religious, cultural, and other aspects of our engagement and interaction with fellow humans, the study of history, the study of what works best. We see it every day in the moments that we live, all 86,400 of them, although many of them we are asleep. But yet even in our sleep there are still dialogues and dramas, activities. Oh, becoming more aware is an art form practiced for thousands of years, to concentrate, to gather your senses. It's why I said that when we began. What is the most important thing that one can do? To be here in the present, to recognize oneself as a bundle of miracles, to fathom a sense of humility from the knowledge of the immensity of everything that is going on simultaneously as the universe is simultaneously changing, and to be appreciative that we have a part to play, each of us in our own way, have some degree of a freedom of expression of our being. It is amazing. Not that there's not a lot of work left to be done. There are many who are taken advantage of unfairly, and this needs to be remedied. There are many that are violent prone. Again, in a society of equals, there is not much room for this kind of behavior, and we do not condone it. So, we have laws and rules and regulations. We have commandments. We have so many different regulations of common sense, and many that are not common sense. It would be good to further reform and improve the ways that we govern our nations and in the way we govern ourselves. Again, this is why we are here, meditation and mindfulness. It gives you a greater sense of perspective, self-realization, self-realizing. Well, what are you doing? You're self-realizing. What are you realizing? Self. And what is this? This is everything. You and I each are nodes, points within the sense of our universe. We are a part of this. This is godliness. And it is a sense of awe. We have a smidgen or a tiny little bit of an inkling of the magnitude of all that is going on in our universe, in God's heavenly kingdom, if you want to look at it with those words. How do we find a greater role for heightening awareness as an activity? By making it a habit, by creating rituals, habit. Help play our days in a methodical and nourishing manner. This is what we want to do. Beginning one day early and with specific events and responsibilities checkmarked. An incredible opportunity to move ahead on your own life's journey in more beneficial and happier ways. Meditation and mindfulness are just words. They symbolize an activity. They symbolize a practicality and practical opportunity to utilize one's mind. It is why it is best to at least begin doing something, even if it's for a moment or two. And a moment is a second. A moment or two. To 3 to 10 to 20 to a minute, 60 moments, or a couple of minutes, or 3, or 5, or 10, or 14. 14.4 minutes is approximately, well, it is 1% of your day. 14.4 minutes. If you give yourself as a beginning 5 minutes to allow yourself just to be aware, this is the beginning of mindfulness. This is the beginning of meditation, just to be aware of these basic thoughts, that one is here now, that we are bundles of miracles that are a billion years evolving, and that we have a sense of humility and grace in recognition of all that has transpired, not only in this billion years, but in the 14 billion plus years since creation. a sense of humility, a sense of awe, and to just be grateful that you can even think, that you have some amount of free will. Just a few moments is all you need for this. You will find, as have I, the pleasure you received will grow and nourish your practice. From these humble beginnings, you will want more and more. People want to develop their practices into arts of living, the way that they journey, guide the helm of their ships of life. Yes, me too. That is a very age-old tradition, spirituality. And this is a good way to acquire and to build this kind of being in oneself. To be aware. You need to be aware. To see everything. To allow. To accept. So that you can become. Are you going to become what? Something unique, because this is a new moment. And in what way is it going to be unique? It's going to be leaning towards the positive, because that's the direction I'm heading in. Right? You get the feeling of these? You see how this leads, one thing leads to another. Oh, wait a minute. Why am I fearful to think this thought? Why am I hesitating? Why do I want to have it poke into my head and then I want to immediately dispel it and ignore it and move on? Because now there's a little light bulb there saying, take a look, reconnoiter, investigate, find out whom you are. Allow to greet yourself, accept, and finding one's foundation that can be based upon one's physicality, one's breath, one's pulse, the shimmering majesty of being alive. You begin to develop a sense and finding these moments of pausing and greeting them with a hello and learning about oneself. It is the first step to change, is to know what you want to change. Okay? Have a happy hello today. I'll talk to you later. I've seen all good people. That's every single one. Even the misguided are still bundles of miracles. Even them.